I'm revising the lubrication recommendations. I got a hold of the factory because this was not working. I sprayed this with a dry film, and the dry film, as you can see, the DuPont works well on the bearings above for 4 HD4 and below. But when you spray it in here, you put the tube as far down as it'll go, and then you fill that hole with a dry lube, but it just didn't work. It kept locking up on me. Alright, the problem I've been having is that this still locks up even though I use the other lube, the dry lube. So what I'm going to do, I called Next Wave, and they basically what they do, there's no bearing in here, between here and here. It's a bushing surface, because the bushing will take more force in this direction and safely in this direction as well than a bearing will. So I have to get lubrication down in there. What they've started doing is they take a lithium-based grease when they assemble it and put grease in there. What I'm going to try to do is actually use this grease adapter to put on top of this hole and then inject grease down in there. Well, to do that, I want this to turn. So what I'm going to do, if you look at the video I showed on how to get the A axis to move via your teach pendant, you'll see that what I'm going to do is set this at about 3,000 and hit go, and it'll keep turning till it gets to that point, and then I'll do it again and it'll turn back the other way. And it can't wrap on itself, so you can just keep going. In fact, I might put 10,000 and hit go and see what it does. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll go to my teach pendant and go to my Z axis, or my A axis, go from Z to A, and put in a number and say move. And that's going to start the bearing turning. So then I'm going to start pumping grease down in here. Now, my problem is, or part of my problem is it's really cold. And see, if you pump grease, it comes out of this, where I can get it full. See the grease coming out of there? That's what I'm going to do. Shoot it right down this hole. And then eventually, it will get to that bearing surface. You just have to feed it nice and slow. It's 3 pumps. I would put a grease cert on here, but to do that, this is an 832 hole. Well, they don't make a grease cert that I've found at 832. If you find one, let me know, and I'll put a grease nipple on there, or a grease cert. You can drill that out and put a larger one in, but when you do that, the debris falls down the hole. So that creates an issue too. You can see the grease coming out around here. You can buy these at a lot of different places. I got this at a local store. I was going to order one a little better online and I didn't. I probably should have, but it's still injecting grease down in there. It would probably help too if it was a little warmer. Clean some of that off. You can see the grease coming up out of the hole. So it's still got pressure and still working. I want to put that on that surface because it can contaminate my wood. And see, if you grease it while it's moving, that'll get the grease all the way around the bearing. And I put it at 10,000, so you can see it's still turning and turning and turning. It's at 5,000 now, so it's halfway through its cycle. You go too fast, you can see it comes right out the top. Put too much pressure. Alright, it looks like, see the material coming up here? So that tells me it's getting in there and forcing all that material I might have had in there out, which is a good thing. So that should be enough. You can see it start coming up. When you do that, that should be enough for now. And what we'll do is watch it. If it locks up, we'll take it, because I'm going to plug this hole so no debris falls in it. That's an 832, so I'm going to put an 832 screw in there, and that should keep the debris out of that hole and make it cleaner. Because you don't want grease on your woodworking stuff. It makes it hard to do anything. See it coming up through there? So that tells me it's lubricated the bearing and the wall in between here and here, which is good. So get rid of all your grease remnants and let it run and clean it off. Now we've got to put my 832 screw in there. It's in my pocket, so I've got to take my glove off. And I'm dressed for winter. I'm usually in Florida this time of year. But unfortunately, some health issues are keeping me here in Michigan. And the screw will, see that grease coming up through there? Or the dirt and residue coming up through there? I was going to put a little O-ring around it, but I don't really think it's necessary. Let me clean it off some more. Then we'll do another machining project. I'm going to make a ravioli roller on this. So I'll make a video related to that sometime this week. But this way it's nice and lubricated and won't be locking up on me. So that's it. That's an addendum to our lubrication process for this. Have fun with your CNC.